Welcome. I haven't seen you in so long. I'm so happy that you're here. There's a bug around. Hello, Curtis. I hope you're doing well. And Adam, welcome. And I just got an invitation to another show, and that's so funny when it happens because, we're all live at the same time because why not? The more the merrier. But welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace. I'm so excited. It's another moon day together, and this day has been so good. I was actually just looking at my agenda because my toddler, bless his heart, did not nap today. And so what that means is that I haven't gotten around to do most of the things I would do while he is napping. I'm so grateful that on Mondays I do not coach, so I didn't have to cancel on anybody and be like, I have a toddler in my face. I can't really coach you right now. But I haven't journaled. I haven't planned my week yet. So how grateful am I that we meet to do just that? It's just wonderful. I'm so excited. So thank you for being here. And if you can take a moment, you can click on that little hamburger button at the bottom left and share this, broadcast it to the world. Or you can share it with your followers if you have Fireside followers. I want to say thank you to everyone that's watching on YouTube. And of course, thank you to anyone that may be listening to the replay on Spotify. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So, everybody, what a weekend. I know that we didn't really see each other during the full moon because it happened on Friday. We did discuss the full moon last Monday when we were together, but I'm curious if anybody would like to share. I've been discussing this all week, touching base with all of you about how was the full moon in Cancer for you all. It can be very emotional. That doesn't mean it has to be. It can be emotional. Moon in Cancer is also very homey. So for people like me, my moon is in Cancer for my birth chart. And so when the moon is in Cancer, I tend to feel right at home unless there is something disturbing that kind of home energy or home mentality or homey energy. Then I'll feel that disconnect. But also the moon in Cancer really prompts you to consider, how do you make a home within yourself? How do you belong to yourself, right? And the moon in Cancer is also very concerned with what is it that is going to take for you to feel emotionally secure enough to come out of your shell. Remember, the Cancer is that crab, right? So it's that hard shell exterior and the mushy center, just like us, right? We have this body that is a hard shell and we're mushy inside, and by that I mean the emotions. And so the moon in Cancer really prompts you to ponder, how do you make it so that you are secure enough to come out of your shell. And if your relationships are not allowing you to be that raw, authentic self, then you're going to feel that disconnect, right? And if your relationships are not secure, or if your attachments are not secure, then you're going to feel that emotional pull from the moon. So that was Friday. That was a lot. And then we also discussed last week that during the weekend there was going to be a Cassimi happening, in the astrology of it all. And so that should have been, or could have been, a eureka moment, or a moment of clarity, or a moment of insight, or kind of like an aha moment during the weekend. And so I'm pondering, or I would like for the audience to ponder, did you have a moment of revelation this weekend where maybe something that you may have been pondering for months all of a sudden kind of clicked for you? I remember on Sunday, we were at the zoo for the very first time. I've been in this state for almost 7 years now, and I had never gone to the zoo. And we went to the zoo, and I remember the Cassimi aspect of the astrology, and I remembered kind of like I kept my eyes open for an aha moment, right? And all I remember thinking and feeling was gratitude. Everything was so lush at the zoo, lots of plants, and we were in nature. Some properties or parks can be very spread out, and there's a tree here and a tree over there, but the zoo was very lush and there was nature everywhere. It honestly didn't feel like a zoo. And so I remember feeling extreme gratitude for that moment. Of course, my toddler was like super excited to be there, and to experience things through his eyes is very interesting, and I treasure every moment. So thank you for sharing this out, Cecilia. I see you there. Curtis, thank you so much. And I see your little face, M. Yes, I love it. So that was the weekend. And then we transitioned into starting the week with the moon in Leo. So we're going to talk about the moon cast, and then we're going to talk about Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2023 agenda/journal and how it's directing us for this week with the affirmations and everything else. And like I told you, I haven't done any of it. So I'm excited to get to work after after we meet and after we talk and discuss. And then I have, however, done my time blocking, and most of my appointments this week that are confirmed are already in my agenda because that's what it's for. So let's talk about the moon cast, shall we? So we start the week with the moon in Leo. And Leo is specifically concerned with how the role that we play in group interactions, other people's opinions of us, even though, we try to make it so that those opinions don't really make a difference. In the end, we are human. We belong with each other. We like to be in groups, like, the lion group is called a pride, which I didn't know until I was an adult. I didn't know that was called that, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And so Leo, which is a masculine fire sign, is very passionate and very confident and very concerned with that face that, it puts to the world. And so when the moon is in Leo, you might feel like, how does the community think of me? Or how is this resonating with the community? Or you may feel kind of, I don't want to say a need, but just an energy of seeking validation, or really wondering how your group of friends or your group of people at work or someone that you love and respect that may be at a position of authority may feel or think about you. And that's when the moon is in Leo. And I say all of this, very lightly, because you could be feeling like that, or you could just, it may be going over your head and you absolutely don't feel anything, and that's absolutely fine, right? And so that's the moon in Leo, and then it's going to move into Virgo. And I'm excited about the moon in Virgo this week because we have been talking about Mars in retrograde since October. It's already been that long, y'all. And I don't mean to, I don't mean to give you a heart attack, but by the end of this week, we're already going to be halfway through the month. What? That's right. It's already almost halfway through the month. And so if you remember, Mars is going to be in retrograde until January 12th. So this Wednesday. And this Wednesday, the moon is going to transition into Virgo. And Virgo is very analytical. Oh my gosh, I can't speak tonight. Virgo is very analytical. Mercury is in retrograde too, and Mercury affects all of communication. So maybe that's why my tongue is tied today. I wonder if it would be so much easier just to do all of this in Spanish, but then you'd be like, what is she talking about? Anyway, so when the moon transitions into Virgo this Wednesday, Mars is going to finally be direct. And so let's give you a refresher of what that means. And as you know, I'm not an astrologer, so please do your own research. Tune into Ghost of a Podcast by Jessica Leinato, or download the Chani app or whatever. And so Virgo, I told you, is very analytical, and Virgo also likes to do things in order, right? There's that analysis aspect to it, and to check off boxes and tasks. I'm a Virgo rising, so I definitely can understand what that feels like. Look at us, I designed something that allows you to time block your day. That's kind of very Virgo of me, right? And so Mars, the planet of action, has been in retrograde since October, which is kind of why we also, among other things, we started the year kind of slow and not necessarily feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do all of this and let's go and let's do it. And the beginning of the year was more of a, yeah, this year is going to be amazing and I'm feeling the energy and I'm just going to take my time. And, it was kind of slow, and collectively speaking, everybody has agreed that it's been kind of a slow start to the year. And a lot of it has to do with the astrology of it all. And so when the planet of action is in retrograde, then that's the inaction of it, right? So if you have been feeling like you did, it may be a lot of things, right? It could be that you are actually, depressed and need clinical help, or it could be that you are deeply influenced by the planet that is currently in retrograde. And so you're just not motivated to do things. And it's kind of that motivation of, I'm just not going to do this today, because I have all the time in the world and I just don't feel like it right now. I'm just going to take my time. And before you know it, the day is done. And, you just haven't done the thing, whatever it is that you were planning on doing. So that's pretty much the energy that we've been living in since October when the planet went in retrograde. Now it's going to go direct, right? And so I'm anticipating, and it may not happen, but I'm kind of anticipating that when Mars goes direct and the moon transitions into Virgo, we might all feel like that push of like, oh yeah, let's go. Let's do the thing. What is it that we want to do? Let's go all out. Woohoo! And that's going to be towards the end of the week as well, because it's not going to be until Friday that the moon is going to transition into Libra. And then when the moon is in Libra, we've talked about this again. Remember that Libra is the planet of balance. So let's just say, when the moon is in Libra, you might feel kind of like the intuitive push to question things or, stir the pot. But the moon in Libra kind of prompts you to also not rock the boat. I just want to keep the peace. And the way that I brought this up earlier was very interesting because, if you need to advocate for yourself or for someone, if you need to point out an injustice, remember the balance, right? If you do need to speak up about something that clearly needs to be, stirred in the pot, then by all means, please do so. And I hope that you find that inner strength to speak your truth and to demand whatever it is that you need to see happening, because we all deserve that, right? And we all have the right. And so that's what the moon in Libra kind of does. It does a lot of other things, but mainly I'm concerned in our own little community and in our own, in the context of my niche and my clients and even myself. I'm concerned with, I don't necessarily want to disturb the peace, but if the situation is really calling for someone to stand up and advocate for someone else or for a cause or for myself, then I really hope that we all, have the strength enough to do so, and that we feel like we are in a safe enough environment to speak up, right? Because some environments may not really be safe enough for you to do so. And now I'm thinking about, toxic relationships or a toxic work environment or just people who are not safe to be around with. And that's the end of the week. And then, by the end of that, it's going to be next week already. So that's your mooncast for y'all. That was pretty quick. So how was that? I hope that you were able to comprehend all of that and that it didn't just, go over your head. But that's pretty much the mooncast. And so let's discuss our book, shall we? And of course, if any of you watching would like to come up and share anything about the weekend or anything about the journal this week, then you're free to request the mic and come up. But let's go straight into what the moon is doing today and what the book is prompting you to do. So when I say the book, everybody, we are following Moon Magic and Mindfulness with Grace 2023 agenda/journal. Thank you again for being here. So every single moon day, today, moon day, it is going to prompt you to write things like, this week I will make sure to. What is it that you cannot, the week cannot go by without you doing it. And this may be something personal. This may be something outside of yourself. This may be something environmental. Like maybe last week you forgot to put the trash out. And this week you need to make sure that you put the trash out because it's already been 2 weeks. Like, think about your entire life. Mindfulness is not just about your inner work, your personal growth. Mindfulness is about being mindful of every aspect of your life so that everything flows in a way that it's like, you check all the boxes. There's that Virgo rising talking again, right? And so that everything is aligned and in balance, right? And if you forget to take the trash out 2 weeks in a row, that's tough. I don't even want to know. Like, are you going to go and buy another trash can? Because maybe that's what you need to make sure that you do, right? Like, think about everything, every aspect of your life, not just your inner growth and personal work, but also, your environment, your home. Maybe this week you need to make sure that you do your laundry because you haven't done it and you're running out of socks. So is that it? Is that what you need to make sure that you do? This week I will create. What is it that you want to create? I really put that there in the context of content creators like myself. What is it that you need to make sure that you create this week? Is it a podcast episode? Is it moments of mindfulness because you slacked up on that last week and you really fell down the wayside in your meditation or in your journaling? I personally had a goal of last week doing a very specific devotional every night, and what do you know, the full moon came around on Friday and I forgot about my devotional Saturday and Sunday. So now I'm 2 days behind plus today. So it's like 3 days behind. So what do I want to make sure that I do this week? I really want to make sure that I commit and that I do my devotional if I really want to stick to that commitment. Or because there's that grace aspect of this, right? And that self-compassionate aspect of it all. If I'm going to drop the devotional and forget about it, then I want to also make sure that this week I make a decision. And the reason why I bring that up is because when you give yourself a deadline for a decision that has to do with something that you're kind of like on the fence about, is that once that deadline arrives, you're no longer on the fence about it, which means you're no longer beating yourself up about it, which means you can just leave it and forget it, or you can actually just do the thing. And so, this is when you think outside the box. Welcome, Taryn. We're looking at Moon Day in the book and exactly these questions. And so we're talking about this week I will create. What is it that you need to do? And you missed a very funny thing I just said, which I guess I'm the only one that found it funny. But in the first question that says, this week I will make sure to, I was explaining how these kinds of promptings are not necessarily about your inner work and your inner development and your soul work, but maybe this week what you need to make sure that you do is your laundry because you didn't do it before. And so, ponder every aspect of your life so that everything aligns and just flows in a way that then you don't have to beat yourself up about anything. That's the bottom line about a lot of my work. I want you to be able to do what you need to do in order to do what you want to do. And if you're beating yourself up about something, then it's going to get in the way of something else. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And then, of course, what are you grateful for? I am grateful for the technology available for us to do this. And I say that because Mercury is in retrograde. And this weekend I went through 2 different Zoom calls that just didn't work. They were both like, what? The sound was not working. People were getting disconnected and booted off. And it was like, what is going on? And all I could think about was Mercury's in retrograde. And we're just going to blame Mercury because everybody's connection is fine. Everybody's phone has been updated. Everybody's phone is charged. So why is this not working? When there's no other explanation, then who are we going to blame, right? If Mercury is in retrograde, then I guess you can blame Mercury because it is technology and it is getting in the way of communication. So I'm just grateful to be able to meet with you all, and I'm grateful for another week. What do you know? It's week 2 of 52 weeks in the year. So we've already scratched the first week of the year and we made it. Yay. And then the affirmations that I have on this book for every Monday are really meant for you to carry them throughout the week. So I hope that, that resonates. I actually wrote them. I have them on Monday, printed on the book. But last week, what I did was that I wrote the affirmations on the pages where you get to time block for the week so that I wouldn't forget. And so this week's affirmations, just like every week, are in tune with the moon in Leo, which is what's happening today and tomorrow. And I said earlier, the moon in Leo is very concerned with how you handle criticism, how you perform, or how you resonate in your groups and in your communities, your own environments, your work, your church, your, study group, your group of friends, your so on and so forth, your family, all of that, right? And so the affirmations are as follow. There's 2 of them every single Monday. My future success is defined by my present efforts. My future success is defined by my present efforts, not by someone else's opinion of me, not by someone else's expectations of me. My future success is defined by what I do today. The seeds that I plant today will grow later on, right? So every action that I put in place today that may seem kind of pointless, you may not be motivated to do it. I say this a lot as well, is, do it even if you don't feel like it, because you will feel good once you see the result, right? Do it even if you don't feel like it, because the reward system in your brain will get activated once you achieve it. And that will definitely make you feel good, in the physical sense. And now we're talking about neuroscience and positive psychology, right? So that's the affirmation. My future success is defined by my present efforts. And then the other one is, my energy is rooted in love and hope. And the reason why I added those 2 together is because love and hope together, I see them kind of as a mathematical equation. Love plus hope equals, dreams coming true. Love plus hope equals, what do you want to put there? Do you want to put manifestation? Do you want to put blessings, right? And so I really like, and we even see it, and I've spoken about this in many an interview, about how we tend to kind of always attach hope, love, faith, and family together. We see it a lot in these like home goods stores where they sell these little pretty signs with words in them. And because of that kind of commercialized way of grouping those terms together, we don't realize that hope is its own thing. It's a whole mindset all on its own, which is, the foundation of my work with the Hope series, for example. And so my energy is rooted in love and hope. Welcome, Milana. Thank you for being here. And so without hope, there's just no future visioning. Hope is essential for you to ponder that future success from the previous affirmation. Without hope, you're not really concerned with what's happening tomorrow. You're just, living in the day and maybe hopeless. And of course, that's another conversation. One of my arguments in the work that I do is to actually bring to light the fact that nobody is hopeless. There is hope for everyone, right? As a reminder, the American Psychological Association says in their research that there is 0, not 1%, not 2%, They say, not me. The American Psychological Association says there's 0 evidence of false hope in their research. And what that tells me, I don't know what it tells you, but it tells me that no one is hopeless, that there is hope, even if you don't see it. Even if at the moment of, hurt, pain, tragedy, trauma, you feel like you just don't see hope anywhere, it just doesn't mean it's not there. So it's a question of opening up and bringing your awareness to it and focusing on wherever that may be. And so hope is the foundational aspect of future visioning, which is a key ingredient, of course, in positive psychology, life coaching, so on and so forth. And so those are the 2 affirmations for the week, everybody. Yay! And that's pretty much it, because the next page, which I told you all I haven't done, but I will do as soon as we're done here, is an open journal for the week. That means that there's no journal promptings. On Mondays, you just get to write freely. And, of course, that's a type of journaling different from the full moon journaling in the pages where it's more guided. You get to answer 3 questions. And the affirmation for the full moon was, I am willing to push past my comfort zone to create what I want to create. On a scale of 1 to 10, how willing are you to push down your comfort zone to create what you want to create? That's almost like asking, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Because if you want it bad enough, you'll be willing to get to work, even if Mars in retrograde says, oh, just take a nap. Ooh, right? Or even if Mercury in retrograde says, who are you kidding? You can't do that. Or who are you kidding? You're an imposter. Like, who do you think you are to do this? Like, how much are you willing to push down your, through your comfort zone to do what you want to do and to create what you want to create? This is why those questions are there and why those affirmations are what they are. I took into consideration the whole astrology picture of it all to put this together. So that is basically your mooncast and everything that has to do with the book for the week. And before you know it, we'll be here next week talking about the new moon, which is happening next week as well. And I'm very excited for next week's episode because we're gonna have another guest. Yay! We're gonna have another guest. I'm gonna leave it as a surprise. You're gonna see it in all of my marketing and newsletter and everything. But we're gonna have a guest because she has an epic event on January 22nd that I want to discuss together on January 16 next week. So I am excited for next week. And for the new moon, of course, let's not forget the new moon is all about planting seeds. So what are the seeds that you want to plant? And if this is your first time joining us, welcome. In this show, we like to paint over what we journaled. And so that's what we will do next week for the new moon episode. So thank you. I hope you join us with your paint and your willingness to share and to open up your heart and just connect to, the amazing world of your emotions. Ooh, that's what the moon is about. And so this show is not so much about magic, but a lot about the moon and a lot about mindfulness. So thank you all for being here. That's pretty much it. Yay! Now we're going to go into our meditation. Thank you. Unless anybody is willing to come up, I'm going to give you one last chance to join me. And if you all don't, then I'm going to go ahead and do our meditation. So this is your last call. Let me go ahead and take a break. Oh, yeah, Curtis is coming up. Welcome. Curtis, how are you feeling?
I'm doing okay. I think I can come up on video.
Cool. Hang on. I got you, babe. I always remember that song. All right, so are you there?
I just wanted to double check that everything's coming through okay. Except, there we are. Here we are.
Welcome. Good evening to you, sir.
Yes.
So, what would you like to share?
Well, let's go into what I like to share is I'm a little behind on my work, but I have some paints and some other stuff. Let's go over the full moon part 2.
Yes. Did you see mine? Would you like to see it?
Yes.
Look, this is what I painted last week.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I will say, well, because it's not going to dry, and I just wrote in, because, obviously we're on 1/9.
Yes, it's going to take a few. Well, it'll take like an hour to dry, and then you'll be able to pass the page. But yes, I would recommend you leave it
Not with
open.
me. I'm they're pretty thick paints, but I don't want to stick the pages together either. But you know how that is with paint.
Yeah,
But
take
I
your
will
time.
say this week, because we're in the waning. Is it gibbous?
That's right, waning gibbous.
Accept and pivot from criticism. I love it. This week, I will make sure to. And I'm going to share this with everybody. Be a part of the community. This week, I will create new new podcasts and talks. I am grateful for friends checking in on me.
Love it.
Affirmations. Yeah, it almost. Anyway, affirmations. Love myself and positivity, happiness, and open journal for this week for the week. Answering any questions.
Yeah, so the open journal is for you to just let your hand write and just take your time. You may not even have to read it. Of course, you don't have to share it. That's private.
No, it's
But
okay. I don't mind. But again, I have no problem doing that because you have created a wonderful book.
thank you.
And um, no, I didn't want like because the way I'm gonna do this, I just didn't want the yeah I want the paint to dry, but I also wanted to fully admit that I did not complete the project from last week, but you know health issues and everything else. That's
Yes,
something I'm
and you're
working on.
perfectly fine. It's gonna happen because life happens, right? And so what I love
That's
about the
right.
fact that and so what I love about the fact that the questions are there is that if you don't have the chance to journal, then you at least sit down to ponder the questions. I even have clients who don't journal at all, but they always look at the questions, and it's like, at least sit down with the question and ponder the answer, because that's helping you make sense of things, and it's helping you put two and two together about where you're going or where you want to be, and that's really, what gets that wheel going, right?
If I'm about to in
Yes, I can see
case
it.
they didn't get the bookmark, this
Yes.
is what it looks like. By Howard Falco. As you believe it, so it shall be. Howard Falco.
As you believe it, so it shall be. That's right. That's the quote that's
I
up
love
there
it.
as well. Yes.
Is it?
Yeah, right
All
there.
right, cool. I wasn't planning on coming on video, but I just wanted to come up and say hello to everybody. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for allowing me to come up. I
Of
appreciate it.
course. Yes. And send me a picture whenever you're done with the painting so I can share it.
I will. And maybe I'll create another painting, send it down to you.
Yes, anytime.
Pretty chilly up here. I will always send you a painting. And if anybody else would like one, I'm more than willing to do that for yourself. Just some of your colors, your favorite colors, and all that good stuff. So maybe that's another part of something I place in the this week I will create. Who knows? But this is a wonderful book, Graciela. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much,
Uh,
Curtis. Thank you for coming
yeah,
up.
yeah, just knock me down. I don't know how to do it.
Don't worry, I got you.
All
All
right,
right.
thanks.
So, yes, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. So, everybody, thank you, Curtis. Absolutely. I'm so grateful that you're here. Let's go ahead and get comfortable for our what's the word? Meditation. Yes, and this is going to be quick. Actually, this was always the plan for our in between episodes between the full moon and the new moon, for them to just be kind of quick and to the point and not necessarily a full hour long. And it's because, especially now that we have the book to guide us, we don't really need to just be wandering or going around in circles trying to figure out what the week is like. We can just turn to the book and answer all of it, and it's already done. See what I did there? I do want to mention though, because I have friends and family and members of my community who are neurodivergent or who are ADHD, and so I really want to bring this up. Time blocking or filling out an agenda ahead of time doesn't really resonate with everybody. And I want to bring it up in case you're looking at my agenda and feeling overwhelmed because you have no idea where to begin, filling those slots of, how do I even do this? And so something that seems to work for some neurodivergent people or even people with ADHD, I know my husband does this a lot, and somebody like me who is not neurodivergent looks at that and feels like you're taking precious time to do this, but it really works for him. And that is, at the end of the day, he writes down everything he did in retrospect. So he doesn't necessarily plan ahead the way that I'm used to doing and the way that this book kind of invites you to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and skip a week so that I can show you a time block page that is blank. And I have several things already written weeks in advance, but here's another one that has weeks something planned. Okay, so here we are in February and the week is blank. So if you're looking at my agenda and all of this blank space where you're supposed to time block, it's kind of daunting because you fall into that category, neurodivergent, ADHD, or simply because you just don't like to time block, you're not used to it, then I would like to invite you to go about your day doing whatever it is that you're already in the flow of doing, and then visiting your agenda at the end of the day and writing, what did you do? What time did you get up? What time did you finally make it out of your home to go to work? What time did you have lunch? What time did you get out of work? What time did you pick up the kids from school? From what time to what time did you do homework? From what time to what time did you do dinner with your family? Those are blocks. Those are time blocks, right? Bedtime routine with the kids. How long does that take? Does it take you from 8 to 9? Then do that block as well. And so you can do these things in retrospect. And the way that people with ADHD or people that are neurodivergent tend to do that in retrospect is about, you've already done it, you've already accomplished it, and so the reward system in the brain and all of that dopamine that we may feel when we plan ahead or when we actually do a task and check that box, they still get that feeling at the end of the day when they look at everything that they have accomplished. And so this is another way to look at these blank pages, because I recognize that a blank page or a column with nothing but lines can be daunting if you're not used to time blocking or to being kind of responsible for your own time, right? So thank you. I wanted to bring that up so that everybody could have an opportunity to look at it different ways. So now that that tangent is done, let's go ahead and get comfortable. Ron, you are just in time for our meditation. So both feet in the ground. Music for this meditation is brought to you by Brain FM. You can check the link in the fortune cookie or in the description or in my bio. It really depends where you are watching us. You may be watching from Instagram, YouTube, the replay on Fireside, or you may be listening on Spotify. Even on Spotify, the link is in the description. All of that to say, The link in the description has a free trial of Brain FM and 20% off your membership. It actually also has the shop where I get all of my incense from. You can have 40% off of that. They have crystals. They have beautiful tapestry that I'm actually so excited to get. There's this window in my room that I just want to cover with a beautiful tapestry of just colors and the moon and stars and all of that. And they also have singing bowls. Which I'm so excited about. So all of that in the link. Also, if you want to book a call to get to work with me, definitely do so. It is free. The most important thing about it is that you have nothing to lose booking a call with me and everything to gain. And not just with me. Every single life coach that I know has a free call for you to book a call. So what do you have to lose? Nothing. And what do you have to gain? Absolutely everything. Control of your life, productivity, creativity, all of the above, right? So both feet on the ground, and let's go ahead and do an unguided meditation. Nice little breath work. And just relax. Focus on your normal breathing, nice and slow. Slowly bringing your awareness to this moment of stillness, to your slow breathing, normal breathing. And with me, take a deep breath in through your nose. Just fill your lungs nice and slow. All the way till you have no room for air. Just fill your lungs. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it go through your mouth. Nice and slow. We're not in a hurry. All the way, all the way. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in again through your nose. Nice deep breath in all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it go through your mouth. And as you let it go, relax your jaw. Lower your tongue in your mouth. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms. If you're sitting, just feel their weight on your thighs. Relax your hips, and this may prompt you to kind of wiggle around in your seat and just follow your body. Relax your legs. Relax your feet. And if you're anything like me, you're going to crack your ankles. And just be here now. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just be here now. And as you sit and relax into this moment, I want you to ponder the week ahead. All you have to do, all you get to do, all you want to do, and focusing on your normal breathing, I want you to ponder the possibility of there being plenty of time for all of it to fit, to get done, to be enjoyed. Plenty of time. Plenty of moments for creativity, productivity, healing, love, connection, creation, growth, all of it happening all this week. With me, take one deep breath in through your nose. Deep breath all the way in. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it go through your mouth. Nice and slow, not in a hurry. Let it go. Breathe it out all the way till you have no air. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in again. Through your nose all the way. Fill your lungs and expand your chest and feel your belly grow. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it go. And as you let it go, keep your eyes closed. Bring your awareness to your hand and place your hand in your heart. This brings your awareness to your heart space, where all of the love and hope reside. And remember, or repeat, I am so grateful for moments of trust and hope and love that allow me to feel safe. I am grateful for the safety to explore my authenticity and to really push myself to create authentically and honestly. I am so grateful for community and endless opportunities to share love and wisdom and my creativity. I am grateful for plenty of time to do what I want to do. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Deep, slow breath in all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out through your mouth. Nice and slow all the way. Hold it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe in again. One last deep breath in all the way. Hold it at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let it go. And breathing nice and slow. Wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness to your body and to this present moment. Slowly open your eyes and come back to me. Thank you. I see your hearts. Thank you, Cecilia, Curtis, and Adam. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for showing up for another fantastic week. And thank you to everyone watching on YouTube and everyone that may be listening on Spotify. As you all know, this is also replayed on Instagram. And that is it, everyone. That is another epic week ahead. And I'm so excited to see what you will create, all the conversations we will have, and and I will see you all next week for a special guest and the new moon. So I hope you join me. Love you all. Have a good night, everybody. Bye. Woohoo! Thank you.